What's up guys? So today basically I'm gonna share you guys 5 most important things that I learned working for 365 days as a student. I went through this internship year and now the internship year is over, basically a placement year is over, so I would like to share 5 most important things that I learned throughout this 13-month placement, well 12 months placement, because I took a holiday at the end basically. So yeah, 1 year of constantly working. It was my first job as a student, so there are a lot of things that I picked up on the way, but there are 5 most important things that I would like to share with you guys today. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so first is time. Time is the greatest asset out of all of things. Time is what you need in order to settle into a working environment, whether you spend your time trying to study a new skill, trying to learn a new skill, you know, trying to adapt to the environment. Time basically is the most important asset out of all, because depending on how much time that you spend, let's say whether you're training for a job role or a new tool, of using a new tool or a new simulation tool, time is the greatest asset out of all. So make sure you utilize it, and that's the most important thing in order to settle in any working environment, because anything can be learned, and in order to learn that, and in order to go through that learning curve, you have to spend your time, and it's so essential. But if it's like 3 months placement or maybe even like a shorter time, then it might be slightly hard for some people to just settle in and get used to the environment. But if you're already capable of doing it, and if it's your right job, then it's another thing. But for me, it was a completely new job for me as a production steering. So as you guys some of you will be aware of, I did a 13-month internship placement at BMW Mini Plant, and if you want to check out the video, I'm gonna leave it over here so you can check it out. But yeah, so through there I just learned that the more you spend time on getting used to the environment, learning how they work, how the skill sets, what kind of skill sets are required, you just get used to that, and then you get familiar with the processes, and you know, afterwards it's for you to settle in, because you go through this learning curve, and then afterwards you keep on learning, and then afterwards you got to the constant state of settling in, trying to, you know, fiddle around with the tool, test and validate that kind of things, and after that it's a downhill, which basically means it's an application of how much you have gained through that duration. So all of them are basically a time graph. So it's a time graph against the working progress, or you know, effort that you've put in, whatever, during the workplace. So time is the most important asset out of all. What's up guys? So I might be switching around a little bit, because just to make sure that you guys are not bored of the background in the same scenario. So this is my room. It's a little bit switching going on here and there when I switch the topics. But okay, number 2 is basically being able to adapt to the environment is the most essential skill set out of all. Let me move you guys a little bit. Being able to adapt and being able to settle in and being able to learn new things and have an open mind, it's sometimes hard for some people, but when you have that skill, it's gonna make your life so much easier. I know that you'll be going through that I explained, learning curve. You have to learn, and you have to keep an open mind, and especially in the area that's not your area of expertise, bro, you gotta be able to adapt and change into a person that you need to be in order to complete the goal. What you need to show is basically the result once you've adapted and changed into that person that they want you to. Not in a bad way, but that doesn't necessarily mean that adapt doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be a people pleaser. And be careful and be wary of that, because that's 2 separate things. Being able to adapt is using what you know, you try and keep an open mind, learn new things, and basically apply it back. But pleasing people is a different thing. You don't have to be a people pleaser. You don't have to like grab coffee for your boss, or you don't have to, you know, grab food for all of your colleagues that are like grateful for or whatever. What you need to do is basically get the job done and make sure that you do what you were like hired to do, or what you were assigned in the first place to do. The most important thing is the results. Being able to show the results is the most important thing. They don't care how you get to that progress. They only care what you can show at the end, and how much result is available at the end. And what obviously they will consider some progresses of how you get to that point, but depending on what you work on, the results are the most important thing. But anyway, being able to adapt is the most essential skill set out of all. So make sure you do that. Alright guys, so this is number 3, is basically keep your life private. It doesn't matter whether you're close with your work friends, or your work colleagues, whether you love them or whether you're close with them, make sure you keep your life private. Whether it will be your relationship status, your income is inside or outside of work, your family problems, your friends' problems, everything, keep them private and make sure you don't tell all of them. Like, it's not necessary to tell. And plus, most of the people don't really care, and some just literally hate you. Like, especially for me, is my passion is the most important thing, and it's outside of work. Obviously, as you guys can see, this is a YouTube video, so I love doing YouTube, bro. Like, YouTube is my main thing, and it's outside of work. It has got nothing to do with the job that I'm doing. And if I tell people that I do YouTube and I love YouTube, why are you doing this? Why are you spending time editing for 5 hours? Why are you spending time putting in effort? Why are you out there on the streets asking people for questions? You look like a freaking creep. I know some people just hate that, but and that's one of the things that I regret as well, telling all the people. Not telling all the people, I just told one people, and it just like keeps on spreading because he has a lot now basically, so no shout outs here. But what I'm trying to tell you is keep your life private, especially your passion. Like, when I tell people about how I love doing YouTube and how I'm not, so some people at work, they feel like they need to get that, most of the people feel like they need to get that little pay rise, that promotion. As long as you're not aiming for that, some people literally hate you. I mean, for me, I don't really care because I'm an intern. Plus, even if I were doing a really good job, I still wouldn't care because that's not my passion. That's not what I want to do. That's not what I was meant to do, I feel like. So I love doing YouTube, which is what I'm doing now. But yeah, so keep your life private. That's the most important thing. And make sure you don't tell anyone. Listen more and speak less. That's the most key important bits. But yeah, number 4. So number 4 is basically always stay a student, and there is always something to learn. And don't be a Mr. Know-it-all. Like, you don't need to be a Mr. Know-it-all, and you don't have to be. I know, because I come from not a decent background, but I come from a strong academic background, and it's sometimes easy for some people like us to, be over the moon, like, oh, I know everything, I mean, I'm good at this, and you have that little bit of ego, which is not good sometimes in working scenarios. So make sure, make sure you keep that in bay. So yeah, this is number 5. Change is hard. For some people, change is so hard. Like, because this is basically speaking from my experience, and feel free to criticize me, or if you don't like it, just stop watching the video. I don't really care. But what I'm trying to say is change is really hard for some people. So throughout my internship, I did a simulation tool, which is new, which is for Munich, for BMW. And it's implementing that has caused people, in order to, try and learn a new thing. And you know how change curve works mostly, like people closing their mind off, telling their age, how old they are, they're like forgetful, giving those reasons. It's not how it works, or whatever the thing is. Change is really hard for people. For some people, opening up their mind, keeping an open mind, plus being able to learn is the hardest thing. They would be doing their normal day-to-day stuff every day, but they wouldn't learn a new thing or try to approach a new thing, and they'll be giving excuses like, this is not what I normally do. This is not the process, or I'm too old for this. I'm gonna retire in 2 years. That kind of like excuses, or I know you want to. It's an additional workload. I understand that. I completely understand that. But what I'm trying to say is, and it's most of the people that says it's not gonna work, or they don't have that confidence, they don't have that drive to try and attempt to make it work. And if there are problems, there will be problems for sure. It won't be rainbows and sunshines. What I'm trying to say is there will be problems. You have to solve them. You have to make sure that it's being operable. If it doesn't work, then we need to come back with a solution, or we need to report the report it back, whatever. What I'm trying to tell you is you have to keep an open mind on whatever that's coming at you, and then tackle the issues or the problems that's going to come later on. So keep an open mind regardless of where you are, and I'm sharing this for most of the students. I aimed at this for the students that are planning to work at an internship, trying to work at an internship or a placement year or whatever that they're planning to do, or maybe even after they graduate and they're like expecting something in return to basically like go to work afterwards after their graduation, or some kind of a corporate job. I don't know, but what I'm trying to tell you is basically these are the things that you should keep in mind and you should try and avoid and be prepared for, as well as put an effort in how to act on. So yeah, that's the main 5 things that I learned out of all the experience that I've had throughout this 1 year of working in an industry. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. What's up, y'all? Today I'm basically gonna share you the most important. I don't know why I'm wearing this. This is a terrible video. It's supposed to be work related. I look so casual right now.